Okay, is this working now? So for today, we will be working on day 4, task 9, scanning through the snow. So let me just deploy the machine here. Excuse me. So now we can try to, while we're working on that, let's try to read through the notes here. Walkthrough for day 4 here. During the investigation of the downloaded GitHub repo Austin task elfrecon, Macred identified a URL qa.santagiftshop that is probably used by all the elves with admin privileges to add or delete gifts on the Santa website. The website has been pulled down for maintenance, and now Recon Macred is scanning the server to see how it's been compromised. Can you help Macred scan the network and find the reason for the website compromised? What is scanning? Scanning types, scanning techniques, scanning tools. Scanning is a set of procedures for identifying live host, ports, and services, discovering the operating system of the target system, and identifying vulnerabilities and threats in the network. These scans are typically automated and give an insight into what could be exploited. Scanning reveals parts of the attack surface for attackers and allows launching targeted attacks to exploit the system. Scanning is classified as either active or passive based on the degree of intrusiveness to gathering information about a target system or network. As explained below, passive scanning, this method involves scanning a network without directly interacting with the target device, server, computer, etc. It is usually carried out through packet capture and analysis tools like Wireshark. However, this technique only provides basic asset information like OS version, network protocols against the target. Active scanning is a scanning method whereby you can scan individual endpoints in an IT network to retrieve a more detailed information. The active scan involves sending packets or queries directly to specific assets rather than passively collecting that data by catching it in transit on the network's traffic. Active scanning is an immediate deep scan performed on targets to get detailed information. These targets can be a single endpoint or a network of endpoints. So when we talk about endpoints, this is an endpoint because it's like a pathway to advent of Cyber 4 here. The following standard techniques are employed to scan a target system or network effectively. So we do have network scanning. It is usually a collection of interconnected hosts or computers to share information and resources. Network scanning helps to discover and map a complete network, including any live computer or host, open ports, IP addresses, and services running on any live host and operating system. Once the network is mapped, an attacker executes exploits as per target system and services discovered. For example, a computer in a network with an outdated Apache version enables an attacker to launch an exploit against a vulnerable Apache server. So we also have port scanning. In computer networking, a port is a number assigned to uniquely identify a connection endpoint and direct data to a specific service. At the software level within an operating system, a port is a logical construct that identifies a specific process or a type of network service. Port scanning is a conventional method to examine open ports in a network capable of receiving and sending data. First, an attacker maps a complete network with installed devices, hosts like firewalls, routers, servers, etc. Then scans open ports on each live host. Port number varies between 0 to 65,536 based on the type of service running on the host. Port scanning results fall into the following 3 categories. We have closed ports, the host is not listening to the specific port. Open ports, the host actively accepts a connection on the specific port. Filtered ports, in this indicates that the port is open, however the host is not accepting connections or accepting connections as per certain criteria like a specific source IP address. We have vulnerability scanning, which is proactively identifies the network's vulnerabilities in an automated way that helps determine whether the system may be threatened or exploited. Free and paid tools are available that help to identify loopholes in the target system through a pre-built database of vulnerabilities. And pen testers widely use tools such as Nessus, Acunetix to identify loopholes in the system. We have Network Mapper. Nmap is a popular tool used to carry out port scanning, discover network protocols, identify running services, and detect operating systems on live hosts. You can learn more about the tool by visiting Home or Rooms, Nmap and Map Live Host Discovery, Nmap Basic Port Scan, and Map Advanced Port Scan. Rooms and try HackMe. Deploy the virtual machine by clicking Start Machine at the top right of this task. This is the machine Recon MacRed wants to scan. You can access the tools needed by clicking the Start Attack Box button above. Wait for the attack box to load and launch the terminal from the desktop. Type Nmap. In the attack box terminal, a quick summary of important Nmap options is listed below. Transfer Control Protocol or SYN scan, get the list of live hosts and associated ports on the host without completing the TCP three-way handshake and making the scan a little stealthier. So we use the Nmap with the flag SS and then the IP address. Allows scanning the live host in the network without going deeper and checking for port services at usage. So we do have that following. Operating system scan allows the scanning of the type of OS running in a live host usage. Detecting services, get a list of running services on a live host usage. Nikto is open source software that allows scanning websites for vulnerabilities. It enables looking for subdomains, outdated servers, debug messages, etc. You can access it on the attack box by using nikto-host and the IP address. Elf Recon MacRed ran Nmap and Nikto tools against the QA server to find the list of open ports and vulnerabilities. He noticed a Samba service running. Hackers can gain access to the system through loosely protected Samba share folders that are not protected over the network. He knows that the Bandit Yeti APT got a few lists of admin usernames and password for QA Santa Gift Shop using OSINT techniques. Let's connect to the Samba service using the credentials we found through the source code OSINTAST and then type the following in the address bar and use the following username and password. What is the name of the HTTP server running on the remote host? So I think we'll need to start the attack box. I'm not using my VM right now because my VM is actually, my machine's a little bit malfunctioning. Let's wait for this to finish, then let's check on trying to solve the challenges that we have. Okay, I think it's working now. We're able to connect. Okay, so we do have our attack box now working. Let's try to open our terminal. And what are we looking for? What is the name of the HTTP server? So I think we need to use SMB here. Do we have an SMB here? Perhaps that's a tool that is already available for our applications. Hmm. So I think we can try to run on our terminal ls first. Mm-hmm. Hmm. Okay, we do have nmap here. What did he use for? Okay, that's much better, right? Hmm. Let's see if this will work. But I think we need to. I mean, it's not working for us, right? Hmm. Okay, so that's not working. let's have to go and use an Nmap scan. What is the HTTP? Apache. What's the name of the service running on port 22? SSH? Yep. After successfully accessing the Samba service, so we can see that there's an open Samba service here. So can we access that through port 22? Can we do SSH? Let me just, how to access, I forgot how to use SSH already. How to use SSH for getting into a server. That's usually using port 22. Just command for that. That should be the 10.10.22.173. Usually we need to have we normally need to have the open SSH. How do we connect that? We know we need to have Samba service using the credentials. Let's see, do we have a Samba here? Let's try to Samba. Are we allowed to install certain? Are we allowed to install Samba here? So what can we try to look for here? How about SMB? That's my dog. We're on the route here. Shh. That's my dog. To have a route, I think we can just let it go too. There we go. To have that admin, and we do have that didn't work. Should be Ubuntu. And we did get to connect, right? What is the password for the username Santa? Let's close that. We have user list here. Santar. That's Santa 25. And that's it for tonight, guys. So we just had to look for that SMB. I was thinking we will need to do an SSH to, but we just had to look for that Samba. Try to look into here. We can find it through this root directory. Then you can just go look for that path here. So we can continue this tomorrow. Let's just terminate this.